During the last ASEAN Summit this month in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, ASEAN leaders approved in principle for Timor Leste to become the regional bloc's 11th member. Last week, Metro Globe Network's senior journalist Desi Fitriani visited Timor Leste, and she had an opportunity to talk to the country's President Ramos Horta. Let's take a look.
Mr. President, thank you for your time. The first of all, congratulations, because the 40th ASEAN Summit in the Phnom Penh, Cambodia, the regional group in the principle approved Timor Leste membership in ASEAN. What's your comment in responding to this progress?
I am very pleased that ASEAN leaders finally, after 10 years of Timor-Leste preparation, have reached the conclusion that Timor-Leste should join. Maybe not immediately, but I believe we will work with the ASEAN Secretariat on a blueprint, a roadmap that should not be longer than 1-2 years to finalize the several aspects of requirements that to make ASEAN leaders more confident that Timor-Leste is capable of fulfilling our duties, privileges in membership in ASEAN. We will work with ASEAN Secretariat, ASEAN leaders in the next few weeks, few months to fulfill any remaining requirements of membership in ASEAN. We have been working hard for the last 10 years. We have human resources. For those who worried about Timor economics, I will say it's ironic because Timor-Leste is not, we are already an international investor. We have billions of dollars of our sovereign fund invested in U.S. Treasury bonds. We have billions of dollars invested in international equities. We have billions of dollars invested in euro bonds in Portugal, Denmark, Germany, Austria, many other European economies. We have billions of dollars invested. And I hope that Timor-Leste can also invest some of our sovereign fund in Indonesia itself, like in the new capital, Kalimantan, or maybe contribute with financing in the development of Abadi, the big Indonesian gas field, which is very near Greater Sunrise, which is a very big Timor-Leste gas field.
What kind of the contribution will the Timor-Leste provide for ASEAN? It is the member state, and then what does Timor-Leste expect for the being in ASEAN member state?
Well, the first contribution that we can make, and we've been making already, in that we are fully integrated in regional economy. If we look at our trade figures, most of our trade is with Indonesia, maybe 70%. And when we talk about trade with Indonesia, it's mostly a one-way street, meaning a lot of imports from Indonesia and very little or none from East Timor to Indonesia. We also have a trade, still small scale, with other ASEAN countries. But one of the best investment from ASEAN in Timor-Leste is from Vietnam, the telecommunication, Telemor, country's history, experience with Indonesia. I would always look to work with Indonesia to address some problems within ASEAN region, like Myanmar. Myanmar is a major challenge for ASEAN. Is a challenge of ASEAN centrality, credibility, and the non-resolution of the Myanmar problem will be very detrimental to ASEAN centrality, to ASEAN international credibility.
Regarding Timor Leste and the Indonesia bilateral relation, any progress from the ties, especially in economic cooperation?
I'm very pleased with the ideas, initiatives coming from President Widodo, who is very determined to expand the economic partnership between Timor-Leste and Indonesia. One is we are working hard since my visit in July, working very hard to develop this large free trade area agreement in Wekusi. The idea is having 10 kilometers into NTT, 10 kilometers into Wekusi, to develop a big industrial trade corridor area that will bring investors from Indonesia, from Timor-Leste itself, from the region, from China, Korea, Europe, and so on. So that will be one. President Widodo also mentioned about other connectivities, like a ferry that will come from Kupang to Dili, to Darwin, back to Dili and to Kupang. And I hope that we will continue also look into closer economic cooperation in the energy sector. Because, as just mentioned, we are going to develop the Greater Sunrise. Greater Sunrise and the other discoveries that we have made recently, oil and gas, in the Timor Sea and onshore, will bring billions and billions of dollars extra to Timor-Leste. And I would like to see our country, through our sovereign fund, investing together with Indonesia in the development of our body. I would like to see Indonesia, Timor-Leste, working with Australia to make this triangle, Australia, Indonesia, Timor-Leste, a big regional energy player.
The last question related with global energy and the food crisis. How Timor-Leste could handle it?
So far, we have managed to avoid famine, deterioration of social and economic conditions. Our economy will grow 3% in 2023 and will increase next year and the year after, with many investments that are coming, materializing in